I'm back, and yeah, continuing on. We're going to head to the Viridian Caverns now, because it's about time we go Viridian Caverns.
The Viridian Caverns.
It does literally, the name means green. It literally means
You
green.
must follow them, master.
So, the greens are a bit more reptilian looking, similar to the reds. They also have tails. They look a bit more goblin-esque, I guess. And there are these smashable objects that might yield some good loot.
Being an observant lord, I'm sure you've noticed that our green friends are immune to all kinds of poisons.
Yeah, they love running through poison, like solely just to flex their ability to do so. Someone pick up a helmet, because we have unhelmeted guys. I pride myself on keeping my browns well armoured up, because you're going to need it. And now there's the next version of this annoying ass beetle. It doesn't attack greens for some reason, but...
This is green life force, sire. Use it to summon green minions to your side.
Is this armour an upgrade over our current? Not really.
Also destroy the plants that produce these noxious fumes.
They just flex at them. So yeah, they look kind of similar to the browns, but a bit more like Predator-y, I guess. A bit more jungly. Well, there's a fair bit of loot in here, stockpiled. Yeah, they have a whole thing of collecting skulls and bones as well, seemingly. Again, very predatory. They are kind of like walking predator references. And yeah, they love running through poison just to flex their ability to do so. Yeah, our minions can actually go through there too.
Greens are also known for their poor hygiene. Look at this place. Evil creatures should have standards.
So there's a broken bridge here that we need to mend. Not the toughest puzzle, but you know. No one ever said this game was the Portal. Come over here, you bastard. Okay, that's... fuck you. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to take a second there because I was not believing my eyes. Like at the genuine stupidity at play. I couldn't actually like process that 3 minions. Actually, they weren't the very well armored up ones. Hate these. Yeah, honestly, the best way to deal with these beams sometimes is just a bit of old fireball. Don't run down there. How did that miss? Oh well. You have to be very careful around here. Minions are not right. No, I know I'm tanking a fair bit of the damage, but yeah. No, we can't push this way. this has to be done a slightly different way. I'm not going to bother getting new minions out, because much like with the Reds, we're going to need space in our horde anyway. Actually, might get them out just so they can help me loot quicker. And also, because yeah, it's handy to have spare armoured up minions on the back burner. And yeah, you just gotta wait for them to do a big old push here. And I'm trying to get through, I don't know why, there is no way to. So we're nearly there, to the hive. Yeah, I'm not fucking about with that and risking casualties to a goddamn plant. So this is the point at which we chuck away all of our regular minions, because the greens have joined. And as you can see, they make really lizardy noises.
Master, use the greens to pick up the green hive. We will need it to summon more of them.
So we have a fair few, because the life force we've been collecting. Now greens have always used to be my favourite. It also feels like there's water here, but they can't turn up, as far as I know. But yeah, I think I've always thought greens are one of the better minion tribes. Like, they're just much more practical in certain scenarios. I have drastically less health for some reason. I think this is the thing, poison doesn't make a noise when it damages you. So be careful about that. You might stand in poison by accident, because it's also not fully visible when you're standing in it. It can be a bit...
Your greens into those vile weeds, sire. Clear them for you.
Yeah, that always bloody happens. Okay, now you're going to see the green special attack though. As well as being poison immune little gremlins, they can backstab. Similar to how browns jump on enemies, but instead what they do is they do extra damage and they also go specifically for the back. So greens are really good for this reason, because they're good for taking out boss enemies. They do the quickest DPS of any minion. They are really just overall very powerful, if used correctly. The Viridian Caverns though, very easy to die if you're not careful, because this poison is very iffy. It's not as consistent as things like fire. And if we now get a look at some of their more armoured up greens, you'll notice they've got wrist blades instead of picking up weapons. They also cheer non-stop when they're standing still. It's really weird. They act a bit different. Whereas browns, you know, look around and twitch and stuff and do their generic animations. Reds do slightly different ones. Each minion type seems to have its own animation set when standing still idle. And greens cheer a lot, which seems odd. But Yeah, they do that. Again, like I said, the visibility of poison has nothing to do with how much it can damage you. Sometimes you can see it, but it can't hurt you, sometimes vice versa. Now these guys really benefit from the minion spell, because unlike browns, they do still not have very high health. They have higher health than your average minion, your blues or reds, but not that high. They're decent frontal fighters, but they're more berserkery. They pump out a lot of damage, but in return, they don't have super high health. So they've got a good amount of greens, and generally won't run as low on greens. Now this is where we're really introduced to the potential of the greens.
Time to test the green's ambushing skills.
And this is where we find out about their main ability. Invisibility.
A wild troll! Quick, direct the greens onto its back. They have a furious backstab attack. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
And in conjunction with the minion
Your
spell,
greens like a bit of discipline.
it doesn't
When you
stand a
place them
chance.
on a card marker, they will grow in power and become almost invisible to enemies. Well, apart from their permanent odor of rotting flesh and fish heads.
Which never comes into play, because enemies have no sense of smell, apparently. And yeah, essentially, in Overlord 2, the greens will turn invisible regardless, as long as you're standing still. You don't have to do the whole guard marker thing, but regardless, it's pretty cool. Now yeah, I've always thought the greens are one of the coolest tribes. All of the minion tribes are pretty neat. But they are handy just in their ability to so quickly drop enemies. Not a lot can stand against the full horde of greens, as I'm sure you'll find out very soon. And actually the main boss in this area is pretty weak to greens, as are a lot of the bigger enemies, so you'll be seeing me using them fairly often. I'm making sure to get them kitted up. Because yeah, armor, kind of irrelevant, but picking up new weapons is brilliant for the greens, because, well, they do high damage. And we're going to go test out the greens now that we've got them. And there are still some greens out here cheering us, and some beetles. And again, those beetles can kill the greens out there. It's very odd when it happens. So now we've got a writhing horde of teeth and claws and serpentine cows. Things are going to get real interesting. The greens open up a lot of new tactics, and strategy-wise they're going to be a big part of a lot of the more interesting strats we're going to be pulling off. Yeah, just look at them dropping these things out. That is a particularly tough route mode as well. And there's also a great area to farm green life force, naturally. So So now we've got the greens, we can continue deeper on into Evernight. I'm just going to demonstrate them here against enemies they don't fare so well against. You'll see that even buffed, they really struggle with these guys, because they can't backstab them, being that these enemies are much too small to backstab. So this is why you still want to have grounds. And see where this guy here can be backstabbed. Yeah.
Well done, Master. You have found a new shield spell.
And this is the next spell type. And don't you worry, Buckaroo, we're not going to be spending too long in Evernight. Lure the enemy over here. Can we kite them? Because that's an odd thing, is they still backstab. Well, they still attempt to backstab.
The shield spell will help you, well, shield yourself from oncoming enemies. It's got a bit of a kick to it too, which will send them flying.
So this is our shield spell, reduces incoming damage by a fair bit, provided we've got mana. And the knockback is a nice bonus. Mainly good just for knocking enemies over, really. It's not actually a very good spell, in my opinion. So now I've demonstrated it, much like Slow, I'll probably not use it much. Because F1 and F3 is all we need, baby. This is a good spot to farm green life force. But we are not going to do that just yet, because it's come time to end the episode, because it's gone on for way too long. So I'll be seeing you next time, fellas. Hope you enjoy.